Hello again, YouTube. I thought I'd go ahead and do another video because the other one probably sucked. Oh well. I wanted to show 5 of my favorite vintage cards in my collection, and I'll start with 2 of them that are from the same year. I got these off of eBay. They're in really rough shape, but I wouldn't have been able to afford them otherwise. I'm a big fan of just adding a card to my collection and not really caring too much about the condition. I was watching Ken Burns baseball a couple years ago and saw some Hall of Famers that I didn't know much about, and decided to read up on them and learn about them, and wanted to get a couple of their cards, but they were Addie Joss and Rube Waddell. These are both 1909 to 1912 T206 tobacco cards. As you can see, they're in really bad shape. Here's the backs. It looks like Joss had been glued into an album. If you look closely, you can see it's a polar bear, which supposedly those hold a little more value. And I've had people tell me that I can soak this card to get the paper backing off of it, but I'm not soaking a 100-year-old tobacco card in water. That's no. And then the other one, the Rube Waddell, is a Piedmont, which is kind of cool, and it's really rough also. But I like Waddell because they say that if he played today, he'd be diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic. But opposing fans and players would bring shiny objects and puppies and hold them up while he played to distract him. And if a fire truck went by the stadium, he'd drop his ball. Here's a picture. He'd drop the ball and run and chase the fire truck. So it was kind of different. This is a 1922-23 American Caramel Joe Sewell. And Sewell was interesting because he was the hardest player to strike out in the American League. It's a really pretty card. I like the sepia. I think I paid $75 for this thing at a card show, but it's in really good shape. I don't know if you can tell with the glare. Here's the back. And I'm new at this, so don't make fun of me too bad. But it's got a little bit of paper loss, but otherwise it's a pretty good card. Sewell was one of those guys, I wasn't sure why he was in the Hall of Fame, but when I read up on him, I believe he deserves to be in there. And it's interesting, his career actually started in 1920 when he was called up by the Indians to replace Ray Chapman, who was the only MLB player to have been killed during a game. And it's kind of a sad story, but interesting nonetheless. This is probably my favorite vintage card. It is a 1953 Bowman color Pee Wee Reese. It's iconic, it's art, it's beautiful. It's in really good shape. I got it for $55 on eBay, surprisingly, because they go for about $800. I got lucky. I actually bought 2 of them for that price. I won't say what happened to the other, gave it to some asshole. But it's got a crease here and a crease up here, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. I really like it. It looks like a painting. It's something you could have hanging in your man cave. And then finally, this one is a graded by sgccard.com. I don't know much about them, but it's graded 10 pour 1 1933 Gowdy Jimmy Fox rookie card. I got this off Instagram. Bought it from a guy for, I think it was $40, but it's worth about $100, I guess. And as you can see, it's really rounded corners, and it's just, it's just in rough shape. I don't care though, because I like Fox. He's one of my favorite players, and having his rookie card was pretty cool. So I was really happy to add that to my collection at the price that I got it at, and the guy was really friendly, so that made it really easy. I hope you like seeing those vintage cards. I've got a lot more, a lot of what I like to call well-loved vintage, and I'll try to show some here and there. They're always on my blog if you want to check that out, foulbunt.blogspot.com, and hopefully I'll get around to posting some more videos later. Thank you.